Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the Autodromo Enzo di Dino Ferrari, better known as Imola, one of the most demanding circuits in all of iRacing. Tonight we're live for round 4 of the ILAKA Esports Porsche Cup here, the Israel iRacing League. Tonight's format, as we have seen time and time again, we've got those two 20-minute races after race 1. That top 10 is inverted after points just out as well. Before we get to virtual trackside action, we'll take a look at some point standings coming into tonight. It's Odi Goldberg-Sherrill who leads us up there only by a couple of points there, up in front of Michael Sherling, Rodem Lev, Rodem Katz, as well as Yossi Gabai rounding out the top 5. Or Brahm, Mark Zubrev, Omri Levy, Idan Dalisky, draw last. What a season it's been for all of our drivers here. Time flies when you're having fun. Already 4 races down. Cutting into virtual trackside action here, we still have qualifying taking results, so before we cut into qualifying action, we'll take a look at some race information that we have out here from Imola. It is a 4.86 kilometer, 17 behemoth, you could call this thing here. We're running out of virtual Italy. It's a 28-degree Celsius ambient temp with 19-degree Celsius, I think it's 19 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees Celsius track temp, sitting at an altitude of about 42 meters. We also have 95% humidity here this evening, so it's really going to be foggy out there on those broadcast cameras, as well as, my God, 27-kilometer-an-hour winds shoving us down into our first chicane. Keep an eye on that, especially after our standing start. Taking a look at our starting grid, brought to you by ILAKA Esports. It's Michael Sherling, Ron Sassoni, Yossi Gabai, Liron Schechter, Rodem Lev, Mark Zubrev, Amir Atun, Dror Last, Idan Dalisky, Ido Balstan, Tal Stern, and Rodem Katz running at the top 12. It's also Don Frankel, Ezra Raphael, Amnon Sohari, Odi Goldberg-Sherrill. Man, not with the qualifying effort that he was looking for. Our points leader will have to start P16. It's Idan Eliyahu and Mindy Land rounding out our 18 driver grid. Welcome in down there in YouTube land. I hope that you are all doing well, and I really appreciate each and every single one of you joining out here for another ILAKA Porsche Cup event. My name's Sean Stam, or live out here on ILAKA Esports YouTube land. You can also head out my YouTube channel as well. That's a Stam Studio Network. That would be much appreciated. But once again, thank you all for coming out here tonight and watching these drivers about to put on 2 20-minute shows out here from Imola. It's one of our most technical, challenging, old-school circuits out here on this sim that we have, as well as it's going to be technical and challenging for Odi Goldberg-Sherrill, our points leader, coming into round 4, starting from P16. Here we go. We are just a couple of moments away. Excuse me. I may think he might have a penalty starting back there from in the back of the pack. He still has not actually made it out to the grid, so Odi Goldberg-Sherrill could possibly be looking at a pit road penalty. We'll have to see here in just a couple of moments time after we do get things suited, booted, and ready to go out here from Imola. It'll be a standing start. You'll see those start lights show up on the top of your screen. It should be 5 red ones, and then they should all turn green, and we're going to let these drivers loose into the treacherous turn 1 and 2 chicane. Looks like that's what it's going to be. It's Odi Goldberg-Sherrill who starts there in the pits. It's Michael Sherling, Ron Sassoni, Yossi Gabai, Liron Schechter. It's time to shine. Right now, you could get some more points headed your way. Michael Sherling leads him up into turn 1. Here comes Michael. Ron Sassoni follows in suit right there, P2. There's Yossi Gabai and Liron Schechter. We're going to settle things out there. It's still 2x2 from about 4th and 5th on back. Mark Zubrev starting to join that battle as well. I believe him running the inside line there. Things now continuing to run single file out there out of corner exit of the turn 1 and 2 chicane. Here we go, heading towards 3 and 4 as we're going to start to carry a little bit more speed. Still Michael Sherling out up front. Ron Sassoni P2, Yossi Gabai runs P3. It's Amir Atun, Dror Last, and Idan Dalisky running out in the top 9 right now. It's not till now 5th place on back that we still see some more side-by-side action. Mark Zubrev, I think that was Rodem Lev that was starting to go at it. Thankfully, they kind of give way down there. Remember, these lower pressure, these lower temperatures out here on the track really resulting in some lower tire pressures as well as lower tire temperatures. These Porsche Cup car tires not going to be up and into optimal conditions out here, maybe within even the end of the first lap. We'll have to keep an eye on that, as well as you also have to remember there is no TC, no ABS in these Porsche Cup cars. It is all what your right and left foot are able to put right back and down, heading out there through corner apex and corner exits. It's Idan Eliyahu and Ezra Raphael going at it for 13th, 14th, trying to reel in Rodem Katz. Rodem Katz in the 646, one of our fastest driver within our practice sessions here. He's trying to run away and try to get up within that top 10 positions for our top 10 inversion at the end of race 1. I will note, it says lap 2 out of 20 up in the top left of your screen. That's basically whatever we get to first, whether it's the 20th lap or with lap times ranging at about the 147, at least opening lap of the race. We might get to that 20th minute margin there before then. It's still Michael Sherling out up front, Ron Sassoni, Yossi Gabai. Michael Sherling came into the race P2 in our overall point standings. Could he keep rocking, rolling, keeping that IIL, ILAKA colored number 200 Porsche Cup car rolling up and towards the front. Ron Sassoni continues to close that gap, now down to about 7/10 of a second. Rodem Lev, Mark Zubrev are still, this has been the second lap of the race, but still continuing to run 2/10 of a second between one another. Real quick, we got one around though. It's going to be Amnon Sohadi in the number 78 IIL orange and baby blue machine. Him and Mini Lance looking to have contacts there. We'll take a real quick look at our race replay of the start, and then we'll cut to the Mini Lance and Amnon's incident real quick. It was a very nice start for about all of, if not, I do think it was all of these Israel iRacing ILAKA Esports drivers out here heading down into, we're working probably about 70 kilometers out there throughout at least the entrance of the chicane. And even though 2x2 through the pack from quite a few positions back, we did see some very nice racing out there as well as giving each other some room. Here's lap 2 of the race. I think Mini Lange a little bit too deep into the corner. He's got Ezra Raphael out there in front of him in that Raphael media machine. Oh no, he carries more exit speed than he thought. Maybe than he thought Amnon would out there. We'll take another look at that one and get real quick back to live racing action. So I apologize. I actually thought Mini Land was the car up in front of him for a second, but no, he is the nice run off and actually just makes a tiny bit of contact out there with that left rear of Amnon Sohadi. Back up here for P battles for 5th and 6th. This is Amir Atud and Mark Zubrev. Looks like Rodem Lev was able to get his way around that battle here by just a few margins. But here comes Amir Atud on the switchback. Who saw that one coming? My God, but it's still the 0-3-0. Mark Zubrev tries to run the inside line, tries to play that defense. Defense out of corner exit, not going to work. Amir Atud, nice textbook pass. Switch back down and around the inside. Amir up to P6. That's 1 spot gained since the start lights have went out. Amir Atud, Mark Zubrev, that's the battle for 6th, 7th. How about Jor Lasto right there in behind this battle? Also for 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. This is a nice kind of blanket over, the whole what is this, about 7 to 8 cars in one battle here. Something really fun that I do love to do from out here in Amola when I have some broadcasts out here is cut to this kind of chopper camera. We can really see these different braking lines out here start to accumulate between each one of these drivers. They're also searching for different braking zones, trying to find where maybe you're just a little bit faster up there in the car in front of you. That's what I mentioned there. Look at how Jor Last kind of backed up the corner a little bit. Iran Delitsky got a little deeper into the corner and kind of an accordion effect, like dominoes, if you will. Ido Balstan had to get harder on his brake pedal than he initially thought. And not only these drivers dealing with dirtier air here and running about 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, you also are dealing with that kind of braking differential margin out there up and in front of you. It's Newton's, what is it, first, second, third law of motion, whatever it was. You know how you got the marbles on the pendulum swingy thing toy down there thing. Well, you know what I'm talking about. an object in motion will stay in motion, as well as, oh man, Rodham Katz, he's going to have to play some defense over a hard charging Ezra Raphael. Excuse me, that was not Ezra Raphael, that was Rodham Katz on the hard offense. He got a little bit too deep onto that brake pedal, tried to carry a little bit too much speed through the corner. That allows Tal Stern to make the move on by there. That'll be P11. Tal Stern, Ido Baustin, Idan Dalitsky, draw last, still 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th contact between the two. That front nose definitely not going to like that for Tal Stern. That definitely wasn't any egregious contact, but that's what I was just mentioning. Your braking zones are tested out here driving these Porsche Cup cars at Imola. We'll go back through turn 7, up the hill we go. That's Tal Stern. He will get a new Porsche at the end of this 20-minute first race, as well as that top 10 inversion. Tal Stern right now, if he's going to continue to somehow keep that front downforce hanging on, that number 14 Porsche Cup car could be starting pole position of our feature race. Back up here to the race lead, it's Michael Scherling, Ron Sassoni. They're only separated by about 0.5 of a second right now, and a little bit of lap history on our side. It's close between the two. Lap 1 and 2, Ron Sassoni just a little bit slower, but look at lap number 3. There is a glimmer of hope for Ron there as he ran green. There's lap number 4, 0.4 of a second. That gap continuing to be visually closed out there between our two front runners. Here's going to be a really cool camera shot that we do have here. It's the only Ron Sassoni's live driver camera. We get to hop on board here and see what he sees, not only real life, but also trying to reel in Michael Scherling out here within Sim Racing World. Closes the gap back to about, it actually, he stays about the same there for Ron Sassoni. Let's see if he's going to close it up there with that long slipstream, that long draft helping him down, and that little bit of short shoot of a straightaway. Up and cresting the hill, it's another left-hander. Ron going to try to carry that speed, carry that momentum, try to get back and right to Michael Scherling's rear bumper. Battle for the race lead, heating up and ensuing out of Imola Race 1. You're watching here, STAM Studio Network, ILAKA Esports, as well as IIL going at it here. Ron, let's see if he can do it. They say can't be done. Battle for the race lead. He's now dropped back about 0.2 of a second there. Liron Schechter, Yassi Gabai going at it for that 3rd and 4th position. Also have to remember, we do have, with that top 10 inversion, the points dished out at the end of the race. Here comes Ron Sassoni down and around the outside. It's going to be a little bit tougher to make that pass happen. It's so tough to make any sort of pass happen out here, out and around Imola. But that was a nice try down to the inside there, but right now Ron Sassoni's going to put that right back within his notebook and say, all right, that one quite didn't work. Let's maybe try to re-rack them, restack them. We're going to try something else here, maybe in turn 1. He's going to try the outside line. Ron Sassoni knocking all over that rear bumper, but still nobody home. Michael Scherling says, Ron, I'm not home here, buddy. I'm going to leave that door all shut, not giving you an option to slide it down the inside. Pause. It'll be almost side by side. Scherling continues to hold off Ron Sassoni out here. It's now 0.2 of a second between the two. And as these two front runners start to do battle, it is now Liron Schechter, Yassi Gabai, Rodham Lev, 3rd, 4th, 5th that are getting ever so closer to this battle out and up front. They have now cut that second. They've now cut that gap to about 0.5 back of a second. Now 2.5 seconds. What was 3 earlier, just 2 laps ago. Randy's trying to find some front end grip, find some front end speed, trying to make something happen here over Michael Scherling. Our drivers who run 2nd and Michael Scherling, who runs 2nd in the points, trying to hold off the hard charging Ron Sassoni, but we'll see if Ron can dial anything up here going into another chicane. Nope, not close enough to make it happen. Liron Schechter, Yassi Gabai, Rodham Lev, they're still going at it 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all separated by about 3 to 4 of a second, that battle. Going back on what oh man, it's too foggy. Going back on what I said out there from when I was talking about checking out these different racing lines and differential on the braking points here between the drivers. We can also see if there is any of that slipstream, any of that draft to help them out there within kind of our longer straightaways of Imola. Obviously, we don't have the DRS that we do here within Formula One racing world, but now that we are about a little over halfway down to go in our first race out here tonight from Imola, continue to see battles all over the racetrack. Here comes a real nice battle going in between Dror Last and Ido Balstan. Ido going to run that inside line. Might be contact between the two as it gets so tight throughout turns 1 and 2. Somehow keep it off of one another there. Rodham Katz, he came into the race with 4th in the point standings. He's running in that 6.46. Remember, very fast in practice. He's been going at it there with Odie Goldberg-Scholl. Remember, Odie, he's had to restart the race out there. Well, contact between the two. Odie's had to start the race from the pits. He has now gone around. Contact there with Rodham Katz. We're going to take a race replay at that one as well. No, no, no. Things getting tight, tight, tight. Out of there, off corner exit. Katz tried to save it into Odie Goldberg-Scholl. We'll have to take another look at that one, actually. Try and break it down just a little bit more. Oh, we might actually have to. We got to get the bigger picture here between the two here, side by side, banging mirrors out of there. Oh, man, you see Odie Goldberg-Scholl hits the sausage curves, mustard all over it. I mean, you could tell by the way that Porsche Cup car, that Rexy machine, was kind of slotted down and like already facing to the right. You can tell that, I mean, definitely did not mean for contact to ensue there between the two. But unfortunately, 2 sets of tires going to work a little bit worse than just 1 set of tires through one of our faster chicanes there. It's been so close racing action out here, especially between Odie Goldberg-Scholl, between quite a few drivers, and you can't fault him here for it throughout this whole season. We've seen the speed, we've seen the pace for Odie Goldberg-Scholl, as I mean, he's our points leader for a reason, but right now, unfortunately, just not able to make that pass happen after smacking that right sausage curve with his right side tires and probably suspension trying to go to work out there for him. Up and back on board here with Ron Tassoni as our race leader gets a slowdown. Michael Scherling, yellow flag up at the top left of your screen. That means Michael Scherling, he cut a portion of the track that he has to give right back. We'll have to see if the gap is continuing to close between the two. Now it was 0.4 of a second exiting the corner, now down to 0.3, now down to 2.5 of a second. Here comes Ron Tassoni, battle for the race lead, 13 minutes in, 8 minutes to go. Ron, he maybe tried to look down the inside, but did not make it happen. Hard on that gas pedal. Tried to set him up there on corner exit. It'll be a late race crossover here for Ron Tassoni. Down and around. Will he make the outside line work once more? No, 3 strikes and you're out for Ron. It's continuing. Whoa, Leron Schechter climbs the curb. Out of there off corner exit. He gets his pilot's license tonight. 2 tires up and off of the racetrack for Leron Schechter. Here comes Ron Tassoni. Battles back and around for the race lead once more. Not close enough to make it happen. So hard to make a pass here happen out of Imola. I think Ron Tassoni right now is just trying to get Michael Scherling to possibly look up within his rear view mirror and try to make a pass happen. We are now just 7 minutes left to go here within this race. Can Ron dial something back up here going into turn 1? He's trying to use that speed, use that kind of slingshot of momentum down and around. He's trying to set up the switch back here. Here comes Ron, still not close enough to make it happen. Leron Schechter, Yassi goodbye. That gap has now cut itself down to 1 second between P2 and P3. Ron dials it up once more down around the outside, still not able to make it work. Right side tires up in the air for our 2 front race leaders. Well, I think we got 4 tires going around for P3. Leron Schechter has gone around. I think he just tried to do exactly what our 2 race leaders did, going into the corner, tried to carry and cut that corner apex as tight as he could. Schechter goes around. Here's a race replay of it. Oh, he didn't. I take that right back. That really started out there. I think off of corner exit, he may have got through the apex A-OK out there and got into the left side. Excuse me, he got the left side tires. Oh, no, that's exactly what happened. I did have it right that first time there. Right sides up and into the air. Holy, as well as the 2 fronts. You're going to need 2 front, what are they, Michelin tires out here to turn a Porsche Cup car. Contact there with the number 34 in the outside tire barrier. That's going to send Leron Schechter back down into P7, but with a top 10 inversion, he could still try to find something out there within our race number 2. Michael Scherling, Ron Tassoni, Rodham Lev, 1, 2, 3. Leron Schechter goes off the track again. Oh, he's still facing the right way, but turns into a lawnmower and his Porsche Cup car, IIL number 34. Back up here to the battles between the front 2 runners. They're still within striking distance. Now it's 0.5 of a second. Michael Sherling trying to run away from a hard charging Rantasoni. Now it's Rodem Lev, Yassi Gabai, and Amir Atun running running third, fourth, and fifth. Mark Zubarev, he's kind of right now running kind of right in between himself and Edan Delitsky. Has a gap right now of about 2 seconds behind him and about 5 seconds up in front of him. This is kind of what we've seen throughout this whole Porsche Cup season for this driver out of Rafa Media, Mark Zubarev, the 0-3-0. Just continues to rock, roll, show some pretty steady and consistent pace. Edan Delitsky running in P7, 2 spots gained since the start lights have went out. Tal Stern runs in P8, right now 3 spots gained since those start lights went out. Got a little bit of damage all over the front nose of his Porsche Cup car machine, but definitely going to get that all repaired up right back and right after this race. Cutting back down here to P12 and P13, Odi Goldberg-Schall, he still is duking it out with even more drivers. This is going to be Edan Eliyahu and Ezra Raphael, another driver out of Rafa Media. I'm sure all of you have kind of followed him out now at this point, but make sure you hit up Ezra Raphael up there on Instagram land. He's got some pretty cool kind of behind-the-scenes shots of some really cool motorsports and in-car stuff going on there. So make sure you hit up Ezra. Make sure you let him know that I sent you, as well as, man, still battling out there for 12th, 13th, and 14th position. Working up here should be the final 2 to 3 laps of race number 1. Rantasoni, he's right up and round, trying to make the outside line work once more. Right now, this is as good of a run that we have seen for Rantasoni down and around the outside. He's actually a little bit ahead there, but earlier on the braking pedal, he might try to get that. No, he actually sticks it back and around the outside. Here comes Sassoni. No, he's not able to get that throttle pedal mashed right back down, as well as there is some gravel out there off of corner exit. Looks like those drivers are trying to deal with that as well. At least Rantasoni trying to find some grip, find some speed after both of those drivers nail the sausage curb that has taken out 1, 2, 3 drivers today. Ron down and around and working uphill on the outside line. Right side tires almost off of the racetrack completely into that Astro turf. Still 0.2 of a second separating P1, P2. You can try, ladies and gents, but you're not going to get much better than IIL, ILAKA Esports action here. Sean Stam, Stam Studio Network, producing, directing, commentating the show. Rantasoni, he is now almost as close as he has been throughout this whole race. Right now, still not able to mash that level right back down and get to Michael Sherling's rear bumper. We should be coming up on, depending on when our race leader crosses the start-finish line, that will be our white flag lap. You would imagine it's got to be this lap with only, let's see, about 2.5 minutes, 1.5 minutes left to go in the race. Rantasoni, he's going to regroup, rearm. He's been stalking, creeping out the dungeon here tonight, running in that number 20. A little bit of baby blue, a little bit of orange and black on his side. He's still not close enough to make something happen here. Coming towards our start-finish straight. White flag is out for race number 1. Odi Goldberg-Schall still sits P10. What a comeback race it's been for him after facing the wrong way multiple times. Still Odi Goldberg-Schall, highest driver gained on positions. Michael Sherling still playing not really even that defensive line out here in through turns 1 and 2. Just trying to nail his marks. Rodem Lev, Yassi Gabai, 3rd and 4th. Amir Atun joins that battle as well. Rantasoni, he's got another run and a half. Not going to make it happen down around the outside. Will he switch it back out there? Whoa! This slideways for both of them. Rantasoni shows a slowdown penalty here. That's probably going to warrant that race battle up there for P1, P2. Now I think the battle that we have to keep an eye on now is for P3 and P4. Points dished out, especially for, hey, Yassi Gabai coming into this race 5th in our point standings. Rodem Lev 3rd in our point standings. It's battles between 0.1 of a second through, I mean, not throughout even the pack out here, but as well as battles between single-digit points for lots of our point standings race leaders. Right now, Michael Sherling, he's just trying to stretch his legs even further out there as Rantasoni had to serve his slow down penalty. He's going to get a little bit closer, dives in as deep as he's humanly possible out there through throughout turns, entrance and exit. I believe that was throughout 15, 16. Here comes Here comes 16 and 17, the final 2 turns on the track. Michael Sherling's going to come away with race number 1. Yossi Gabai not close enough to make a move for P number 3. As time expires on the clock, Sherling conquers race 1, round 4 of ILAKA Esports, live here on STAM Studio Network and the ILAKA Esports YouTube channels. Montisoni, very nice points day for him, at least for race number 1. He'll re-rack them, he'll restack them. Shoot, we'll re-rack and restack the whole field. It'll be Rodem Lev, Yossi Gabai, Amir Atun, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Mark Zubarev, he'll come across the stripe, P6, right where he started race 1. It'll be Adon Dalitsky, drawer last. Odi Goldberg Shell, he actually works his way up to P9. Very nice race for Odi Goldberg Shell. Could be possibly a possible championship saving race for Odi. Rodem Katz, Ido Balstan, Idan Eliyahu, Ezra Raphael, Liron Schechter, Tal Stern after having to serve a late race, I think that was a stop and go. Emnon Sohari, Idan Frankel, and Miniland rounding out our top 18. I dropped my notes here. I apologize. I got to grab them back, and thank you all for joining down there in YouTube land. Let me know in YouTube chat if everything's looking and sounding a-okay down there below. We got GTSA 256 rooting on Idan Eliyahu. Man, Idan finished B12, so just outside of that top 10 inversion. But hey, I would still keep your eye on him as Idan gained 5 spots that race, almost as many as Odi Goldberg Shell did, gaining 7 with our highest mover on since race start. Here's our results. Yeah, that is going to be our results. Our unofficial, official race results, and which will be. Oh, okay. Here's our starting grid. I'll make it a little bit easier on you. Top 10 inversion has been said, has been done. Now it's Rodem Katz who will start there up in P1. Odi Goldberg Shell. Oh, this is dangerous for the field. Keep your eye on the number 15. He's going to look to, if he doesn't have to start within pit lane again. No, he doesn't. Odi Goldberg Shell, his on the grid, it's your last. Idan Dalitsky, Mark Zubarev, Amir Atun, Yossi Gabai, Rodem Lev, Ron Tassoni, Michael Sherling. It's Ido Balstan, Idan Eliyahu, Ezra Raphael, Liron Schechter, Tal Stern, Amnon Sohari, Edon Frankel, and Mini Land. Here we go, ladies and gents. Get up, stand up for your life. Don't you ever give up the fight. It's Rodem Katz now up on the pole. Odi Goldberg Shell, P2, drawer last. Idan Dalitsky and Mark Zubarev, the top 5, going into turn 1. Things could get nitty. Things could get gritty. Who breaks early up there between the 2 front race leaders? It's Odi Goldberg Shell who makes his way down and around the outside line. Nice pass out there through turns 1 and 2 and 3. Odi Goldberg Shell to the race lead. Making their way downtown, it's now Rodem Katz who drops back to P2. Mark Zubarev and Dror last battle it out for 3rd and 4th. Whoa, we got a spin going back around. We got 2 drivers in it as well. Amnon Sohadi as well as, I think that's Idan. No, it's Idan Eliyahu. He's got it righted back in the right way. We also have Liron Schechter who is facing the wrong way on the track. Mini Land, I don't think, had started this second race. So back out here to the front of the pack. It's Odi Goldberg Shell running away with it. That's dangerous for the field as our points leader who came into the race now starting to stretch his legs with a 1.2 seconds gap. Rodem Katz, drawer last, Mark Zubarev still run up at the top 4. It's now a really nice battle up there between drawer last and Idan Dalitsky up there back in between. Excuse me, that's drawer last and that is Idan. No, it's Mark Zubarev who made it around in the 0-3-0 up in the final driver interview spot. What, talk about a textbook pass. I mean, Mark Zubarev put the stamp on it and sent that one through the mail, but he did it with clean and ethical race contentions. No contact between him and Jor last. Rocket ship up and into P3 for Mark Zubarev. Jor last in the bright yellow IIL Porsche Cup car runs P4 after this race restarts. It's Idan Dalitsky, Yossi Gabai, Amir Atun still running 5th, 6th, 7th. Don't count out Ron Sassoni, Michael Sherling right now still running 8th and 9th. But remember, Amola, it's a little bit harder to make some passes action happen here from around the track, especially some Porsche Cup cars. I also did see quite a bit of damage on that left rear for Amir Atun on that last camera shot. That you'll see it as he makes his way down by this time. Take a look at that left rear end. I definitely thought I saw something dented in there. That might warrant a little bit of handling difficulties there between the two. Edon Dolinsky, he'll go down around the outside. No! Huge contact there from Michael Sherling, our Heat 1 race winner. We got one up and over. It's Edon Eliyahu. He has now turtled it. He'll put it down and back and into the garage he goes. We're going to have 1 to 2 to 3,000 race replays out here after things have started to calm down. Right now, looking back between Rodem Lev, Ron Sassoni. Ron, he's now survived the opening front 2 laps of the race. This is really big as far as he goes within the point standings, as well as Rodem Lev, who sits P3 in those points. Rodem, Ron now right there running 7th and 8th right now, nose to tail, after they're trying to reel in that single file snake up there between Yasigabai, Amir Atun, Rodem Lev up there and in front of him. Also, Ido Bastian, Ezra Raphael doing a nice job to hang on to the rear of the pack here. It's Aldi Goldbergshell up in the number 15 Rexy Porsche Cup car. GTR? Nope, GT machine. Still up and haven't missed anything out and up front. Rodem Cat still runs P2, and that's what I mentioned earlier on in the race. I did see Rodem Cats, within our practice session as well. Lights out pace as long as he had some cleaner air on the front nose of his Porsche Cup car machine. The 646, after starting up in our pole position, whoa, after almost making contact there with the driver coming out of the pits, I believe that was not so hardy. Rodem Cat still showing some very nice pace out there. Actually, matter of fact, just put the fastest lap down of the race, being a 1:43.91. So far, Cats with some lights out pace here in our starting 3 laps of race number 2. Whoa, there was almost some contact there. I saw on the top right of the screen there between Jorlas Yasigabai as well as Amir Atun. Some side-by-side right behind them as well as they're making their way. I think that's down and around Enon Sohari. That's Ron Sassoni. Tries to make it down around the outside. Happen. Not going to do so, but this will be another fun camera shot out here with him. Hopping on board with P2 race 1. He's running P8 right now in race number 2. Let's see if he's able to dial up a pass out here on Rodem Lev right up there running up and in front of him. It's so hard to close that gap up there with the driver up and in front of you. Not only is he starting to close that gap, but I'm surprised Ron Sassoni doesn't have maybe his popcorn bucket out right now. As I mean, look at Amir Atun, Yasigabai, and Dror Last. Oh, go at it all right up and in front of him. Dror Last going to get the Sean and Tater curse after, right as I say the name, the yellow submarine, or excuse me, I don't know, the yellow Porsche Cup car machine. That sounds a little bit better. Goes down and around. I know we still have quite a few race replays to take a gander at here, but it's still so close battles between 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, still not able to take any looks at him here. Here's a battle up in between. There's Yasigabai up in front of Amir Atun here. We're looking at Rodem Lev making his way down and into that turn 1 chicane. It's tight, it's technical, it's an old school track out there, and we're bringing some cars with 0 TC, 0 ABS out, down, and around. It's a lot of fun to watch these drivers put on the show. They're probably sweating back there behind the wheel. I'm sweating them just watching them. Yasigabai up there into P4, 2.9 seconds back and behind that final driver interview spot. But I think more on Yasigabai's minds right now is to try and hold off Amir Atun. Amir, I'm going to have to take back what I said about his purple and tan and red striped Porsche Cup car, because I don't think I really do see that left rear damage. I thought it was dented earlier on. Maybe not. Just yeah, that thing actually looks spec conditions up there. Number 3 continues to put down a nice lap time. Speaking of nice lap times, it's actually Tal Stern who runs in P12. Race number 2, 3 spots gained since the start lights had gone out. Tal Stern with the fastest lap right now, putting a 1:43.37 down, and really that's without any slipstream or draft in up and in front of him. As looks like Ezra Raphael now has a 1.8 second gap in front of Tal. All right, it looks like things have kind of calmed down here for just a little bit, except for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. That would be 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. So final driver interview spot still is within the hands of Mark Subrev. We'll hopefully be chatting with that driver out here after the next 13 minutes is up and over with. But I mean, still battles so close between one another. It could be within this next couple of turns where, especially through the chicane, that's where I probably like to make the safest, well, maybe not safest, but you definitely have the best chance at trying to make something happen there and setting up, get that Porsche Cup car, that rotation, as well as that, really just the rotation that you're working with here. You got that big old rear wing, the rear end downforce, as well as big old front splitter on the front end of that car. But that's, I think, why we've seen that you hit one of those sausage curbs, or even you get this Porsche Cup car unsettled, and that's why we have seen some drivers really just either they spin down, out, and around, or they lose so much time and speed trying to save it. That's exactly what we see as drivers continue to go at it. Whoa, there's Ron Sassoni working around the inside of Rodham Lev. Rodham Lev a little bit deeper on that brake pedal, maybe a little bit too deep than he anticipated there. Rodham Lev, he'll drop back down into P7. Ron Sassoni, he worked his way up to P6. It's a Miratude. Y'all say goodbye from race 1, still in race 2, separated by probably about a car length there, but, oh, excuse me, that's going to be Amir Atun, and now Ron Sassoni. Yasi Gibai and Amir still separated by about, that's what I was going to get into there. It's about 2 to 3 tenths of a second. Still no to tail between those two after what is all been said and done here thus far. Ron Sassoni, nope, not close enough to make it happen. We're going to take a quick sight and sound out here out of Imola. You can go ahead and crank it up. My name's Sean Stam, producer, director, commentator. I'll be right back in here with you. Thanks, everybody. Back down, joining this battle up here between 5th, 6th, 7th. It has been between 2 to 3 tenths of a second. About this whole last lap here, I'm here too. Still continuing to hold him off out there up front and in that P5 position, leading Ron Sassoni and Rodham Lev in 6th and 7th. Ido Baustan still about 3.7 seconds back and behind them. It's really been survival of the fittest, as well as, I mean, you have to be so careful out here between these tight technical turns out here from Imola. We've seen it kind of take out quite a few drivers, quite a few of our faster drivers out in this race, especially within that top 10 inversion. It's been really fun to watch those drivers keep themselves within the higher running positions of the track. I mean, obviously, Odie Goldberg-Shell is still up there in the lead, 11 seconds now. Rodham Cats, mentioned that earlier in our pre-race. Keep your eye on that cat tonight. 646. Wow, it's man, Rodham continuing lights out pace. His last lap by a 1:43.56, only 5 tenths of a second down of Odie Goldberg-Shell's fastest lap of the race. Mark Zubrev still runs P3. Haven't missed anything out and up front. Yossi Gabay still tries to find that gap a little bit closer up there between the two for battles between 3 and 4. If we do take a look at the last lap history between these two, it shows a little bit of the bigger picture. We do see 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's in the green for Yossi Gabay, so he is continuing to close that gap down. As well, if we continue to see Yossi Gabay and Amir Atun, they have been going at it. So has, actually, that's going to be Amir Atun and Ron Sassoni that were going at it there, back in behind that battle. It's been so close between their lap time. Not really. Lap 5 was a whole half of a second gain for Ron Sassoni, but lap 6 kind of after catching him, and lap 7, the two lap times have been relatively consistent, relatively the same between one another there. Amir Atun still sits up P5. He's going to play that defensive line, a little bit earlier entrance into the corner, but tries to sweep that corner, carry that momentum out of there off of the exit. Ron Sassoni still not able to make a move happen. Rodham Lev is right up and all over Sassoni's rear bumper here, and still about 4.5 seconds back now down to Ido Balstan. For last, Hal Stern, Ezra Raphael, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, with only about 7.5 minutes left to go. Ron, he's been doing everything in his memory or everything that he has queued up in his bank to try to make this pass work, and still just not able to make it happen. We saw Ron Sassoni knocking all over the rear bumper of our race 1 winner, Michael Sherling. Still couldn't make that happen out here. So it just goes to show, I mean, these are very, very talented drivers going at it as well, but it's very hard to make a pass now to your pass from Imola. You see Michael Sherling out there running in P13, just kind of run a little bit more cool, calm, and collected through that chicane. He's just trying to make his way down into I believe what should be 5 to 6 laps of the race. Checking on in back on this battle here between the two. It's still lights out patient. It's still right side tires up and all over those 3D rendered rebel strips and sausage curbs. Ronnie's going to try to dial up down and around the inside line this time by, but unfortunately for Ron, it sets itself back and around into the outside line, I do believe it is. Here comes some more side by side. No, it's actually setting up between the inside line. Deep within the braking zone there is Ron, down at about that 50-meter board. Really, really late, but no contact between the two. Nice pass out there for Ron. I thought that was a completely different corner that we were headed down into there, but he is able to find that outside, down and around into the inside line. Passes Amir Atun. Rodham Lev is seeing all of this happen and saying, hey, come on, guys. I want right now up within this battle. Now Rodham Lev is all over that rear bumper and rear diffuser. And, might I add, big old rear wing of Amir Atun and up in front of him. God, we've seen the offense plays. We've seen the defensive plays. Who is able to get it done out there between this would be P5, P6, and P7. Also, second and third still only separated by about, I believe that's 7/10 of a second there between the two. Rodham Katz and Mark Zubarev. That gap, it looks relatively close out there between live timing and scorings, as well as you cut up in our kind of Stam Studio Network drone camera shot up here. We'll see what happens out there through turn number 1. Watch these different lines out here through this chicane. Watch these braking zones. Mark Zubarev a little bit deeper in the braking zone. He carries that speed. You saw, man, he cut the gap down to about 2 to 3 seconds. Excuse me, he didn't cut the gap down to 2 to 3 seconds. Cut the gap down to about 4/10 of a second, but he was running about 6 going into the corner. That's another chicane right there, and that's where I think we've able to see Mark Zubarev, I mean, really, that's where we see the difference here between these two drivers. Rodham Katz, he's got maybe just a little bit more speed out there between the faster portions of the racetrack, and Mark Zubarev, who we're on board with right now, he's got a little bit more speed within these slower, a little bit more technical portions of the racetrack, especially through those chicanes. Rodham Katz, Mark Zubarev, P2, P3, 3/10 of a second here. Here comes Mark Zubarev, close the gap here once more. And Rodham Katz is trying to run away. Mark Zubarev has the fishing rod out right now, reeling in Katz. The 646, he is up for grabs right now as Yossi Gabay as well as Ron Sassoni still up there for 4th and 5th. What a drive it's been for all of these drivers here tonight, but especially, hey, come on now, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. I mean, we definitely can't count out Odie Goldberg-Schell's race-winning pace. He's got now a 16-second lead over the field, and we couldn't even see it within that same blimp camera shot. That's how far ahead Odie Goldberg-Schell is. 4,600 road course I rating. Rodham Cats 2,093 road course I rating, holding off Mark Zubarev's 1,600 road course I rating. Yossi Gabay, here he comes up in that number 17 lime green Porsche Cup car machine. Gets a little bit closer to that rear bumper of Mark Zubarev, as Mark has to get a little bit deeper on that braking zone that he was used to, kind of running within that chicane section. We saw that within our drone camera shot. We're going to see that within kind of our broadcast camera shots out here. Zubarev closing the gap. Here comes Rancesoni. He tries to make something happen, work out there. Oh, it's a slowdown for Rodham Cats. It's 2 by 2. Second, third, fourth, fifth. It's all up for grabs here tonight, except for that P1 position of Odie Goldberg-Schell. Rodham Cats still has to give that back. That time gained. Mark Zubarev is going to look down around the outside line. Rancesoni still is not able to make a pass over Yossi Gabay. Here comes Mark Zubarev. Final third position. He has now moved himself up to the P2 position. Down and around the inside. Another textbook pass there. Wow, it might have been beaten, banging, trading some vinyl reps out there between maybe Rancesoni and Yossi Gabay out there. It looks like Rancesoni, he'll make his way up to P4. There's Amir Atoun to P5. Yossi Gabay will fall back to P6. Wow, hang on to it there. Amir Atoun almost loses it right and in front of Rancesoni's front bumper there. It's still it's less than a tenth of a second. It's side by side. It's clear. Rodham Cats back up to P2. Mark Zubarev gets the inside line, right back and around. 2 by 2. It's still side by side, quarter to quarter between the two coming out of turn 16, out of turn 17. It'll be door-to-door racing here between Mark Zubarev and Rodham Cats. Who's deeper onto the brakes as here comes Amir Atoun. The intensity has ramped up here between the last lap of this race. Contact between the two. Oh no, there goes the 404, excuse me, the 030 of Mark Zubarev. He'll fall back 1, 2, 3 spots there. Rodham Cats prevails. Cats back up to P2. Amir Atoun is up to P3, but for how long? Here comes Mark Zubarev. He's going side by side through the chicane. Have you ever? I have never. Mark Zubarev, he makes the pass happen over Amir Atoun. What a move over there from Mark Zubarev, but he's not able to find that throttle pedal. He's not able to get that speed out of the corner exit. One of the most important corners of the racetrack, to have that speed, to have that run off of the corner. Amir Atoun gets the pass done right back around for that final driver interview spot. It's all depending on when Odie Goldberg-Schell comes across that start-finish line, but as the time continues to dwindle and actually running over the mark right now, this should be coming to the stripe this time by Odie Goldberg-Schell. Comes out of turn 17. He's got this thing solidified, a 23-second gap. It's second, third, fourth, fifth that we're all looking at right now. There's Odie Goldberg-Schell making it official. Here we go, back into third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Rodham Cats, he's leading this battle by about 0.8 of a second. There's Amir Atoun. There's Mark Zubarev. Here we go into turn 16, 17, the final two turns tonight. Who's going to be able to find those top 3 driver interview spots? Rodham Cats, he'll take away P2. Amir Atoun with a commanding race 1, with a commanding race 2. Congratulations, our podium finishers. Congratulations, Amir Atoun, on a top 3 driver interview position. Mark Zubarev, he'll come across the line, P4. Yossi Gabay, that'll be P5. Rancesoni, he'll finish it out P6. Rodham Lev, P7. Ido Balstan, sure last. Tal Stern. That should round out our top 10. Stick with us here. We'll be right back with you after we wait for those official race results, as well as we'll be chatting with our top 3 driver interviews. Don't go anywhere. Sean Stam producing, directing, and commentating this wonderful IIL, ILAKA Esports Porsche Cup car out here within the iRacing universe. Congratulations, Michael Sherling winning race 1. Congratulations, Odie Goldberg-Schell winning race number 2. Here's our official race results. Odie Goldberg-Schell, Rodham Cats, Amir Atoun. That's 1, 2, 3. And look at the time differential here between third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Mark Zubarev, Ron Sassoni, Rodem Lev, Ido Balstan, Jor Last, Tal Stern, and Adon Frinkel. Yasigabai, I actually think we had a driver, maybe? We'll get back to that. Yasigabai, Michael Sherling, Ezra Raphael, Iran Delisky, Iran Eliyahu, Amnon Sohari, Liron Schechter, and Minnie Land rounding out our top 18. Real quick, I know that we do have drivers waiting for their top 3 driver interview positions, but I do want to take a look out here and just a couple of our incidents that we did have this race. Here's going to be a quick look at the green flag, which there really wasn't any incidents on the green flag start, but I mean, what a nice job it was out there for Odi Goldberg-Schall, who will see a nice camera shot out here, just come away here with the race, what will present itself as the race win. It only took one turn for Odi Goldberg-Schall to make that happen. And you see he's out and away, and it was really still some nice battles out there, and another clean start here for the race throughout the kind of whole IIL, ILAKA pack. Here's going to be our first incident. It's going to be here between Liron Schechter and Adon Frinkel, I do believe, going back down turns 4, 5, and 6. You see a little bit deep into the brakes there. Oh, contact between the 34 and the number 6. We'll have to take another camera shot at that one. And I know drivers that are waiting on your final driver interview spots. I'll be right with you in a few moments' time. I feel kind of bad missing quite a few race replays as close as battles were out here in this race number 2. There's that contact. Well, we should only have just about 2 or 3 more race replays to go over here. Screw it. That was kind of our biggest one. I'll cut it down into live driver interview positions. I believe the only one we got, though, not top 3, but hey, Ryan, he'll still finish out in P6. Nice points day for him. Ron Sassoni, you got yourself a copy, man.
Yeah, I copy, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. My heart's racing out there watching you guys go at it for, oh God, 2 20-minute races. And Ryan, it was pretty tough to pass, it looked like out there, but you still made some very, very nice passes happen. Walk us through it, man.
Yeah, man, I'm sweating bullets. I can't even remember what was going on there, but I can remember that in race number 1, Sherling was practicing, and it shows. It was super quick, and with the first half of the race, I tried to study him and get into his head and make him pile up off tracks and make mistakes, and maybe I'll get a chance towards the end. But towards the end arrived, and I tried to attack, but he defended, and he defended well, and I finished up P2. But pretty happy with that fight and that race. It was super fun racing with him. So thumbs up to Sherling. And yeah, race 2, I don't know what to say. So many cars to fight. When I finally got to pass Amir Toon when he made a little mistake, I hit a bump so hard that I was sideways, flicking down a gear by mistake, and he almost crashed into the back of me. He passed me, and it was towards the end, and I saw everybody in the front just getting together and piling up, and I was just thinking, oh my god, it's gonna end in a huge crash. But it was a photo finish. It was amazing, and everybody was super quick this race. And even though there was a chance there for P3 or P2, but with everybody's together racing, I ended up P6. But yeah, I'll take it. I'm pretty happy. I think towards the points for the season, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Hey, well said there, Ron. It was a lot of fun, that race 1, and especially race 2, seeing you slice and dice it back and up and through the pack. Man, what's going through your minds here before the race here? I'm sure that oh my god, I'm just watching your slow-mo shot here. I mean, tires lifted up and off the racetrack. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I shifted down a gear by mistake, trying to keep the steering straight, so yeah.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Congrats on the P2 and P6, man. Ron, how much experience did you have here coming into Mola here before the race? It being obviously a staple on the F1 circuit and all that as well.
Yeah, I have hundreds of laps in Imola. I really like this track. I think I'm pretty good at it. We had a season, I think, in a F4 when we raced Ring Gross and Chacha and a lot of fast guys, and I was doing so good. I actually managed to get P1 last season in Imola. But this time it was different. It was tough, man. I think, like I said, I much prefer downforce cars to GT cars. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I actually got a bit of practice with the guys here in IIL, ILAKA, and everybody was practicing, and it shows.
Hey, that's what it's all about there, back and behind the scenes, keeping it moving, keeping it grooving with the group. Ron, real quick before we let you get going, man, who you shouting out?
So shout out to Tal and Ilan from ILAKA for providing us with this amazing league, for everybody that racing with us, and for you, Sean, for broadcasting. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Hey, happy to do it here, Ron. You're putting on races like this, so much fun to watch and be a part of. And I appreciate Tal and Elon out there for having me back for another season for broadcasting here for it. Ron, appreciate you, man. Congratulations, top 3 and then top 6 finish. We'll let you get going.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty, and I think I'm going to let everybody else get going down there in YouTube land as well. Thank you all so much for sticking out, down, around. It's Sean Stam here. Check out my YouTube channel if you have some time. If not, it's alright. We appreciate ILAKA, Tal, and Elon, everybody in this Israel Automotive and Karting Association. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you about 2 weeks' time. Thanks, everybody. Take care.